Hi there everybody, it's Donnie Price with Stripset Media and MyFlyFishing.Club, and I'm going to give you 7 tips today on how to cast better in the wind. If you've watched what I've done in the past, you realize that I am from Oklahoma. And I've often said that if you're from Oklahoma and you can consistently catch fish, fly fishing, then you can probably go anywhere in the world and catch fish. I stand by that. One of the reasons for that is we are windy here constantly, and it makes it to where you just fish better in those conditions. So we've become kind of a specialist of that here, and these are things that we found to help us out. So without further ado, number 1, this is kind of the coward's way of doing it, but you can position yourself to where the wind is kind of in your back. So you can use a kind of a Belgium cast, cut the wind in the back a little bit, and then bring it up and over the top of you, big wide open loop. This is very effective, and you know, if it's possible to do that, it's kind of my first thing that I do, just to make sure that I don't end up with an extra body piercing. All right, so number 2, if the wind is blowing at your dominant shoulder or your casting shoulder, consider casting over the opposite shoulder. So you can either do this by simply bringing your rod up and going straight forward this way, or you can actually turn a little bit and cheat and cast over your shoulder. So instead of standing parallel, stand perpendicular and keep that fly line away from you, so still kind of lower your angle but get it out there. Tip number 3, lower your rod angle. There's less wind down closer towards the water and closer towards the ground. So instead of Joan Wolf style up above, bring that thing over to the side like this. As long as you're in a straight plane, either up or side or all the way down, it doesn't really matter which angle you go, as long as that rod tip is true, straight front to back. Tip number 4, increase in size of rod and leader. If you cast a heavier weight line, it's going to carry a lot better in the wind. Also, if you're using a thicker leader and tippet, it's going to be less likely to knot up on you, so you'll get less wind knots. The wind accentuates problems in casting, so anticipate it and get ready for it. If you would normally use a 4 weight with 4-pound test line, then go up to a 6 weight with 6-pound test line. And I promise you, if you also think about, instead of fishing with monofilament, fish with fluorocarbon, it's a little bit stiffer. It's going to have less of a tendency of developing wind knots. Number 5, learn how to Belgium cast and reverse Belgium cast. So depending upon which way you stand in the wind, use that wind to help you. If the wind is blowing right in your face, bring that back cast up behind you and drive it down in front of you. And if it's opposite of that, bring your fly line back to the side of you and then bring it straight up overhead. If you do this, the wind is going to be used as your tool. It'll be an advantage to you. So learn how to do that. It's not windy underwater. Number 6, have good gear. Invest in it. It's going to help you out immensely. Having a good rod that's a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, is going to be able to develop line speed a little bit quicker than a soft, slower rod. I tend to call them sloppy because I fish in the wind a lot. Also, your line. Think about getting a premium line, something that's very slick, something that's tapered off correctly, and something that has the right weight. A lot of lines that are made today aren't correct on their weight. They're a little bit heavier, or they're not uniform. The heads might be longer or shorter. If you've ever checked out how accurate these lines are, very few of them are actually accurate. Airflow has made a very good product. It's been consistently good. It's been consistently the right weights, the right lengths, and the finish on those things are amazing. They're made out of polyurethane instead of PVC, so they've got a better longevity to them, and I think that it's a little bit more environmentally friendly as far as the manufacturing process. But I know one thing: if a fly line lasts longer, then you produce less of it, which is kind of a bad model for a business. But if you really think about it, reduce the amount of times that you have to purchase your fly lines, and it's going to be a lot better for the environment, and it's going to be a lot better on your pocketbook too. Traditionally, airflow lines cost a little bit more, but in my opinion, it's so worth it because they stay slicker longer, and they don't crack up like PVC does. And it's just, in my opinion, it's a better product. It's not a bad idea if you're even an intermediate fly fisherman to go back to the basics and really work on developing muscle memory and being disciplined about that portion of it. We want this to be fun still, but you have a whole lot more fun whenever you can cast well, in my opinion. I do anyway. So get lessons, and MyFlyFishing.Club has a great series out for beginning fly lessons. It's not a bad idea just to kind of take a break, step back for a second, develop really, really good habits. Get that muscle memory working to where you know exactly what to do without thinking about it. And it's good meditation for the day. To think about nothing besides just one motion and your breathing, that mindfulness is really good for mental health. It's good for us to take a step back and kind of worry about nothing for a little bit, reset the brain, and all that. There's been a lot of research on that lately, and it's very good for you. What I'm using is a little dragonfly, and they're eating the crap out of it right now. I don't even know if you can hear me or not over this wind. It's ridiculous, but it's just life. Either you deal with it or you sit inside. That, my friends, is living proof that a swing tip technique still works for largemouth bass. We'll have a series on how to do that a little bit later on. So again, I'm Donnie Price with Stripset Media and MyFlyFishing.Club, and I appreciate you guys watching this. I hope it's helped you out. If it has, hit the like button and subscribe to us so that you can see more of our content. If you think somebody else might be able to benefit from this information, share us with them. Check out MyFlyFishing.Club and think about getting a membership for that. For $31.25 a month, you get $150 an hour fly casting lessons. They would normally cost you $150 an hour. So there's incredible value there. The way that we've set this up is kind of as a 4-week challenge. You get three of these videos per week emailed to you, and you just kind of work along with it. It's kind of a workshop. So it's intelligently set up. It has good discipline to it, and it's structured. There's accountability there. So there's no way that you're not going to become a better fly fisherman by doing this. So anyway, thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you on the water. Tight lines, everyone.